Deborah Owens, what were you trying to say with the title, A Purse of Your Own?
I really wanted to make the topic of personal finance more approachable for women. I didn't want them to feel like this wasn't a topic that they could embrace. So a purse of your own really symbolizes the metaphor for wealth for women.
A purse of your own, this is clearly aimed at women. Why was it important to you to speak to women?
Well, the statistics really show that women are ending up at retirement without enough money in their purses. And so the whole focus of the book and the objective is really to encourage women to make their finances a priority. And oftentimes we take out of our purses for everyone else. And as a result, we're losing what we need most, and that's time to have our money work for us.
Money, it's an issue that is so challenging for so many of us, women included. Why do you think we struggle so around this issue?
I believe that the major reason we do poorly with money is it's not something that's taught. We're supposed to kind of just get it from our families or observe how our families manage money. And the fact is, most people, because they're not taught, even their parents oftentimes aren't good at managing their money. And so that's one of the reasons I think that money, personal finance, building wealth is such a challenge. We simply aren't taught in school or any other method of really learning how to manage our finances effectively.
Given that this is such a difficult issue for so many people, what did you do differently? How did you convey this message in such a way that people could internalize it, they could embrace it?
This book is fun. It is not just about the technical aspects of the financial markets. We do a lot of things to help women understand that they're already smart about money. It's just a matter of really leveraging their knowledge. We also took topics that women are very familiar with, topics like dieting, romance. In fact, one of the chapters talks about the fact that the closer I get to my goals, the better bonds make me feel. And so we really wanted to show women that the same things that we apply relationally and the same topics that we're often focused on, like dieting, also can relate to managing our money more effectively as well.
You introduce in this book something called wealthy habits. What are they?
Well, the whole framework for the book was really sharing with women the way that the wealthy women that I have advised throughout my career and colleagues that I have known throughout my life, I wanted to share with them that behaviors and attitudes. The fact is that wealthy women think, act, and behave differently. And so I created these 7 wealthy habits because they really become principles that, if applied, any woman can build wealth. I think so often we're living paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes we feel like there'll never be enough. What I know to be true and what we conveyed in the book were examples that we call personality profiles of women who went from knowing nothing about investing or managing money to really becoming financially savvy and successful. And that's really what I wanted to convey in this book, is that any woman can have a purse of her own.
I think there's 7 wealthy habits in the book. Can you give me an example of one?
The first habit, which is critical to all of the other habits, and that is a wealthy outlook. And the wealthy outlook is the habit of adding value. And that really is a shift from understanding the difference between earning an income versus building wealth, because there is a difference. And for so many of us, our culture, our families really tell us, go to school, get a good job, and earn an income. Well, what we're seeing in our current financial economy that we're in right now is that earning an income is not enough. The days of being able to rely on an employer and then retire are over. And what's critical for people to do is to make that shift, understand that there is a difference between wealth and income, and that when they're adding value, that habit of adding value that wealthy women have really is about understanding that you've got to begin to build assets and put things of value in your purse so that your purse can grow. So in the first chapter, one of the things I tell women is that it's time for us to clean out our purses. And that's really a function of writing down everything we owe and everything we own and understanding our net worth. In the book, I call it creating a personal financial statement so that you can begin to acknowledge where you are and then take the steps through which you can now identify what your goals are and really what it's going to take for you to be financially successful.
Mm-hmm. You know, and listening to you talk about this, I get the sense that this is also personal in a way too, isn't it?
It is personal, and I know it's very personal for women. You know, I dedicate the book to my own mother who took care of everyone else and was married for 30 years and then separated from my father when she was about to retire. And as a result of that, of her not having a purse of her own, her lifestyle and her standard of living really decreased. But as I went on in my own career, I was 18 years old at that time. As I went on my own career, what I found was that my mother's situation was the rule and not the exception. And particularly for African American women, 40% of us rely on Social Security for our sole source of income. So as I began to see this play out over and over again, I certainly chose this as my career, but more importantly, realized that it's not enough to earn a living. You've got to understand how money works, how to put your money to work, and how to begin to make decisions that are around building wealth and having a full purse once you retire.
You've also done more than just write a book. You've launched a movement of sorts with this. Tell me about the Power of the Purse campaign.
With the new book, A Purse of Your Own, we launched the Power of the Purse campaign to financially empower 1 million women. And so that tactic of financially empowering women, what we're asking women to do is to form purse groups, to take 5 to 10 of their closest friends and agree to commit to reading 1 chapter of the book a month, and then applying that concept, that habit, to their own personal finances.
This is still subject matter that a lot of people are uncomfortable with, and how do you draw them into not being afraid of investing in the financial markets?
One of the habits in the book is called the wealthy mindset. And the wealthy mindset is women adopting the habit of viewing problems as opportunities. So walking the talk, if you will, one of the things that I understand is that it is through this financial crisis that it will cause people to finally say, you know what, nothing else is working. And it would also cause people to say, you know what, I don't know what I need to know. So I've got to get smart and knowledgeable about money. And so I am very optimistic that even though we are in this financial crisis, that people will now say, okay, I've tried everything else. Now I can't depend on anybody. I can't depend on the government. I can't depend on someone else to do it. If it's to be, it is up to me. And so as a result of this financial crisis, I think a lot of good can come from it, provided the right information and people acquire the right knowledge to make better decisions about their money. But what I want to say to people is that wealth is not about getting, it's about giving. And when you give something of real value, going to the first habit of a wealthy outlook and adding value, when you add value to others, that really is the secret to financial success. So when you begin to understand that you have the abilities, the talents, when they're used in the right way, and when you're really leveraging your strengths, because that's what wealthy women do, that is the secret to financial success. So it's not enough to just earn money or to have millions of dollars. This really is about understanding that true wealth is different for everyone, but at the heart of it really is living a life of purpose that adds value to other people and ultimately to ourselves and future generations, because that's really what wealth is about.